doing everything and anything.
Because Joe Rogan.
Please, Joe Rogan, let me be on your podcast, dude. I'm not on steroids.
He does not have a kickboxing background. He does not have a boxing background. He does not have an MMA background. He is not licensed in any jurisdiction. So when he gets on an airplane and he travels out to Austin, hunting down Joe Rogan, you now not only have a crime, or the potential for...
No, I haven't. I want to watch it. Talking about the Liver King, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't stop. Yeah, I like steroids. I train for long questions. I'm young man train about doing law. That's nothing. So I made it my job. Now, you did it for the
was arrested for unhinged threats to Joe Rogan. All right. Now, Joe Rogan, why would you do that to Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan's a nice guy, loved. I think he's the one guy that's loved, liked, and respected. He's a trifecta. He's got all the three of them right.
Liver King versus Joe Rogan has become the talk of the town lately, following the threats Brian Johnson, aka Liver King, made to Ward. Rogan fans have heavily criticized Johnson for his statements, and several UFC pros have also called him out for threatening Rogan. Sean Ollie mocked Liver King for his trash talk and accused him of stirring up drama simply to land a spot on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Because Joe Rogan.
Please, Joe Rogan, let me be on your podcast, dude. I'm not on steroids. I promise. We'll have a killer conversation.
Recently, Joe Rogan revealed that Liver King had repeatedly tried to get on his podcast, even going as far as sending a producer to approach him in Las Vegas and reaching out through mutual friends. Rogan dismissed the idea entirely, calling Liver King's claims a con built on lies about being natural. He made it clear that Liver King would never be invited on his show, adding, "That's what happens."
One of them came up to me in Vegas.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my security guards stopped him. He was like, "I'm a producer for the Liver King." I'm like, What the f*** do you produce? What are you producing?
Like, how many UFC events did he try and kind of like cozy up?
He was front row at one of my shows in Vegas.
Oh, damn.
The MGM. And then I saw him again at the Canelo fight. He was trying really hard to get on the podcast. And he's been trying really hard to get on now. He contacted a few friends of mine.
Yeah, he told me he was trying to get on.
Yeah, for what? For what? Say that more? Like, come on, this is dumb, man. This is a fucking, you ran a con game and you got busted.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that you feel terrible. I'm sorry you feel bad. Because that's just what happens when you get caught lying.
Publicly called out Joe Rogan for a one-on-one fight, declaring that everything was real now and there would be no more pretending. He claimed he was fighting for his family and even said he was ready to die for it. Liver King warned Rogan to prepare himself emotionally, insisting that Rogan had never faced anyone like him before. Despite acknowledging Rogan's black belt, he described himself as a savage who had already captured Rogan's attention. He ended by announcing that he was heading to Austin to settle things once and for all.
Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore. All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I challenge you man to man to a fight. Honorable. You can hold the hand of somebody that you love, because what happens next to you, you're going to need to remember that feeling. You're going to need something more than what you did to give you something to fight for, because I have my family to fight for. Willing to die, hoping that you'll choke me out. I pray to God, because that's a dream come true. It feels good. And then the limbs, I'm fighting for my family. So limb. Go ahead. You should all make fun of me at my expense. Trust me, that it still works. And then you should get paid for it.
We're gonna kick Joe Rogan.
Yeah, the real Jew said it. It's my speech.
Chael Sonnen weighed in on Liver King's challenge to Joe Rogan, noting that while the idea was initially pitched as a grappling match, Liver King seemed open to anything: boxing, arm wrestling, or even full-on MMA. Chael admitted that, while it might sound silly, he actually liked the concept and saw some potential in it. He reminded everyone that Rogan would be a tough opponent for anyone, given his strength and black belt in jiu-jitsu. Chael also praised Rogan for staying in excellent shape over the years, emphasizing that if it ever came down to a real fight, Joe would be no easy matchup.
Liver King wants to fight Joe Rogan. Now, somewhere within that, they broke fight down and kind of made it clear it was going to be a grappling match. He was up for anything. We can box, we can arm wrestle, but it's going to be you and me. Rogan versus Liver King. And I liked it. I liked it because I thought there was actually a little bit of possibility to it. I realized the silliness factor, but you have to understand, if push comes to shove,
Joe Rogan is going to be a handful for anybody. Strong, does MMA, he's got a black belt, he used to compete in Taekwondo, and there was a period of his life in 2005 where he thought he was actually going to get in the octagon and fight with Wesley Snipes. I mean, done a
Chael
great job.
Sonnen explained that Liver King actually got on a plane to track down Joe Rogan, intending to challenge him to a fight in person. Chael noted that this tactic, traveling to confront someone face-to-face, has been used many times before, and will likely continue to be a successful strategy.
Gets on an airplane, and he goes to find Joe Rogan. He wants to fight him, and therefore, he's going to travel to him to pick this fight. That move has been done before, I understand, and that move has been duplicated and triplicated, and that move will be done in the future, and it will be done successfully in the future.
Chael Sonnen was right, as Brian Johnson was allegedly making threats toward Joe Rogan both publicly and privately. The aggressive and escalating nature of these threats raised serious concerns among Rogan's team and fans. Many began to question Johnson's mental stability and just how serious the situation had become.
Hurts a little bit. I hope he's real crucial to fight. What I'm hoping is that Joe Rogan is I've been such a more lifestyle, almost choking off. That's a good feeling. And then anything else that you can break on me, break it on me. Okay? I hope that you won't feel me talk. That's never happening. Happy. For that, something actually to fight.
Liver King showed no signs of backing down, posting video after video to threaten Joe Rogan.
Feeling up, and also know everything that I can with the amount of time I'm trying to explain the little least amount that I'm going to. And I just don't know how much time I have. It's my, you know. Lovely, Rogan. Lovely, fighting, we got, transportation,
Brian Johnson, aka Liver King, was recently arrested at the Four Seasons Hotel in Austin on charges of making a terroristic threat after posting videos on Instagram in which he threatened Joe Rogan. According to authorities, he had traveled to Austin and shared multiple videos challenging Rogan to a fight. Chael Sonnen pointed out that Liver King has no competitive background in any combat sport, no experience in jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, boxing or MMA, and no fighting license in any jurisdiction. So when Liver King boarded a plane and went to Austin to hunt down Joe Rogan, Chael noted that it wasn't just potentially criminal, it also raised serious concerns about his psychological. Meanwhile, Brendan Schaub criticized Liver King's attempt to challenge Joe Rogan, calling it foolish. He pointed out that even if Liver King somehow got past Rogan's security, he'd still be facing a highly skilled martial artist with black belts in both Taekwondo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Schaub explained that while Liver King might be tough in his own world, there are levels to real fighting, and trying to take on Rogan would only make him go viral for getting
you pull off what you think you're going to do, and get access to Rogan, which is never happening. But let's say you're able to get through the wall of special forces security that he has, jump the gate that he has, get through security, get through all the bullshit, the guns, the dog, do it. But let's say he has a special set of skills and he does that. And then you get face to face with a guy who's trained in Taekwondo. He's a black belt, competition black belt in Taekwondo, knocked out a million dudes. Not to mention he's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. By fighting Rogan and to go viral, you go viral.
Yeah.
But you can go viral from getting beat the
Joe Rogan described Liver King as a heavily muscled, shirtless man with a big beard who claimed his physique was the result of eating raw liver, intense workouts, and even sunning his genitals. Rogan shared that he had seen Liver King in person in Las Vegas and found his claims impossible to believe. He recalled Liver King insisting to his face that he was completely natural, but Rogan dismissed it outright, saying, "There's no way you can look
Liver
like that
King
naturally."
thing drives me. Because that guy's on steroids. Well, just shut. I know he's eating really healthy. He's eating all these animal foods and organ meat, which is very rich in nutrients. Well, that's true. But he's dodging the main bullet. To have a physique like that and not be on steroids?
Everyone began to question Liver King, and after months of trolling and denial, he finally admitted to using steroids, openly stating it in his apology video. He expressed deep embarrassment and shame for lying, taking full responsibility for misleading people and admitting he had no one to blame but
He
himself.
calls himself the Liver King, and he's this guy who walks around everywhere with no shirt on. I've seen him in Vegas with no shirt on, big bushy beard, super jacked, and he was telling people that the way he gets that way is by sunning his balls and eats raw liver and just lifts like a maniac, and that's how he's so jacked.
This guy, literally right to my face, would say, "I am natural."
There's no way you can look like that.
Joe Rogan openly criticized Brian Liver King Johnson's apology video in which he confessed to using steroids. On his podcast, Rogan mocked the overly dramatic tone and questioned the sincerity of the message. He pointed out that the timing suggested Johnson only came clean after being exposed, making the apology feel more like strategic damage control than a genuine admission. Rogan made it clear he viewed the video as a calculated effort to protect Liver King's brand rather than an honest confession. Joe Rogan wasn't the least bit surprised when Liver King was exposed for using steroids. He explained that it was exactly what he had expected, describing Liver King's physique as preposterously jacked, especially for someone in their 40s. Rogan said it always felt inevitable that the truth would eventually come out.
I'm embarrassing and ashamed. So I lied. And I misled a lot of people. I stated that this is a complicated topic because before social media, I was rich and anonymous. And after social media, I'm still rich. No longer anonymous. And I never expected this kind of book from the public eye. It's been tricky as fuck to navigate. Well, clearly I did it wrong. And I'm here now to set the record straight. Yes, done steroids. Yeah, I'm on steroids. And I play finishing.
Highest and most dominant form. What? He wanted everybody that's depressed and trying to kill themselves to reach their highest, most dominant form. But he wanted to lie about how he achieved his physique, so mislead these people that just by eating liver, you can come close to that. So as you fail at that as well as everything else you failed at life, it led you to the point of doing something to yourself that you're thinking about committing suicide.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he's saying.
I feel like in this video he had like a very good opportunity to just straight up say, sorry, etc., which I think he thought he was doing, but he also makes a few little comments in there that I feel like people really dug in on, like the whole, I didn't expect it to happen this, or me to blow up this much. It's like, it was very meticulously planned out from inception of the brand. Within this,
Joe
I don't know if
Rogan
you saw
further responded to Liver King's steroid admission by emphasizing how obviously unnatural his physique looked. He described Liver King's body as preposterous and ridiculously massive, saying it was clearly beyond normal human limits. Rogan even asked to see photos of Liver King working out, just to highlight how extreme and exaggerated his build truly was.